sacrifice. Okay, I've said this in another video, right? I've said it in plenty of videos. I've heard rappers talk about, jokingly, right, quote unquote, jokingly, about how they need a blood sacrifice. I've heard these things.
Jesus Christ is the King.
What's good, everybody? It's Capital J Productions. I'm back with another video, and today we're talking about the rapper T Hood, who just passed away at 33. And that's crazy because I just did a video on a bunch of rappers who died at 33 just the other day. So, and that video is called Blood Sacrifice or Self-Hatred. You guys should check out that whole video. But anyway, let's get into this. Okay, another rapper dead at 33. Okay, so I'm pulling this right from TMZ, because TMZ has their hands in everything, and I have my own suspicions about TMZ, but I'm gonna hold back off from TMZ from now, right? But anyway, so they're saying that basically this death is in self-defense, right? And so they believe that the suspect who shot T Hood is Kirk and Rashida Frost from Love and Hip Hop. You guys might know who they are. I've heard of them from a long time now. So it's their son. It's their son that I guess is the possible shooter. He's the killer. He's the one being investigated, I guess, right now. And TMZ kind of go into more details of what happened and specifics. But my thing is we're supposed to just believe law enforcement, right? Like we're supposed to believe what they tell us. I've had my run-ins with the law, and just understanding who, I know they don't lie. Like in most cases, they don't lie, especially as black on black crime. But I mean, really, it's kind of hard for me, it's kind of hard to believe like law enforcement at times. You know what I mean? Like, I guess they're going to pick a side. Cause I mean, like, it just so happened that, that their son is just happened to defend themselves against this T Hood guy. I mean, I don't know, I don't know. I don't follow these people or anything, but what I do know is I know how crooked this rap game really is. I really know how bad and who's really behind it. I understand that there's all of this stuff is being set up, and that I do understand, right? So, but you guys can go read this article, for yourselves about the passing of T Hood, who just so happened to be another rapper that died at 33, right? And I'm gonna tell you guys what I believe is going on. Not necessarily with this case, but just overall, right? Because I always look at the overall picture. I don't just look at like one story, right, versus the next. I know it's all connected, like, because, and see, I understand, like, a lot of y'all don't know, what I mean? Y'all don't understand. Y'all haven't been in the game, or y'all haven't been next to people who's like shot callers and people who's really running things. Y'all don't understand, what I mean? Y'all just think as fans. But that's one reason why I'm here, because, I have talked to people who's in the industry, who's deep in the industry. I'm talking about having relationships with the top rappers that y'all follow. You know what I'm saying? I've had conversations with these people, so that's why I'm trying to tell y'all as much as I can, but without revealing, what I'm saying, like who. So, I mean, this situation, right? It just keeps happening. Like these rappers just it's always rappers, right? Like it's always rappers. Y'all don't think about like why is it always rappers? These black rappers. Why it keep happening to y'all? Y'all don't think about that. I'm just curious. Um, you know. So, but I know why it keeps happening. I've mentioned it plenty of times before, and I think y'all know my stance on it, and I'm not gonna do a whole lot of rambling today on this one because I know in the future is gonna be some other video, it's gonna be some other rapper that gets killed, another gun shooting, whether it's gang related, whether it's self defense, whatever it is, right? But it just so happens that Kirk and Rashida Frost's son is just so happens to get involved with this. I mean, if they're celebrities, right? They supposed to be. I mean, does this happen, right? To people who's supposed to be stars, people who's on TV. It's not happening to the white stars on TV. You don't really hear this stuff happening to their kids, right? But it's happening to theirs. I just want to give y'all something to think about, right? Y'all gotta think on a deeper level to figure out what's really going on here, okay? But we already covered it's only happening to black rappers. So yeah, y'all make sure to check out my 30 rappers list video about the 30. I list just 33 rappers that died at no 30 rappers that died at 33. I already mentioned that, but I thought I would mention it again because nobody's really going to check out that video. This stuff has been going on since the early, like the late 80s, maybe even the early, well, about the late 80s. It started then with gangster rap, and it's still going on to this day, obviously, right? So yeah, I kind of went over the law enforcement part. Should we really believe law enforcement on what they tell? I mean, because like in this case, right? Yeah, I understand things happen, but it's like I said earlier, it's just in rap and hip hop is always some bullshit, right? Like it's always someone getting killed over a dispute or over at some point. When are we going to start talking about the bigger picture? Like why does this keep happening? We need to be looking into deeper issues on why we're losing so many black men, right? Young black men, you know and like I said, it's happening to the rappers. It's just happening to black rappers. And I'm gonna keep saying it. I know y'all, some of y'all are gonna be complaining like, "Oh, you're saying the same thing. Oh, you're saying the same thing." Yeah, well, the same fucking thing keeps happening, and y'all just show up and just, y'all keep commenting on the same comments. Oh, rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? Rest in paradise. And MC, I don't know, whatever the fuck, right? Little gains or whatever the fuck, right? Whoever's next on the list, or just rest in peace and y'all move on instead of thinking on a bigger level and trying to really think like, man, yeah, we got to do something about this. We got to start thinking different. We got to start moving different. We can't just keep trying to be a part of this game, and they're just using us as pawns and killing us whenever we want. Or they have these said it's deeper than y'all think. All right, it really is. Like, and that's how come I'm not in the rap game. I could have been in the rap game. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to be a part of this circus. You know what I mean? And I don't want to be responsible for these rappers dying. I don't want to play no parts of that. And that's why I'm not as big as I should be. You know what I mean? And that's fine with me. I'm okay. I'd rather be doing what I'm doing now. I'd rather be telling you guys about, like warning y'all, because a lot of y'all sons that's headed down in this path, sons and daughters, it's mainly sons though, right? It's mainly men that's dying. These young black men are dying, right? A lot of them don't even make it to 33. But, a lot of y'all sons that y'all raising become a rapper, go be a rapper. They're going to sacrifice them, right? They need y'all to keep y'all motivating y'all sons to go in this direction because they're their next sacrifice. Okay. I've said this in another video, right? I've said it in plenty of videos. I've heard rappers talk about, jokingly, right? Quote unquote, jokingly about how they need a blood sacrifice. I've heard these things. This is why I'm telling y'all, like, this shit is real. Y'all get around these rappers, right? Y'all got to be careful because they're looking for their next blood sacrifice, and you can possibly be that person. So the best thing you can do is get away from everybody, especially if you don't believe in Christ. If you don't believe in Christ, you're up for grabs. That's how it works, okay? Nobody's going to tell you that, but I'm telling you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's anybody is really up for grabs in Satan's world. The only people they can't get is people who is protected by Jesus Christ. Everybody else is up for grabs. All right? So yeah, so I want to talk about, do y'all think these are blood sacrifices, or you just think this is self-hatred? Because we're the ones who keep shooting each other, right? So which one is it, right? You know? Another problem with black men that we have is we always think the gun is the solution. And anytime we get into it with somebody, oh, go get the gun, go get the strap, you know what I mean? And we're ready to shoot, you know what I mean? And this is coming from somebody who I used to have that mentality, okay? So I understand, I get it, but we got to learn how to talk to each other. And that's why, that's why I started this, I started doing videos, because I really had a situation where I had a beef with somebody, right? I had a beef with this gangbanger in the streets, back in my early 20s, right? I didn't go after him. This guy came after me. He was a gangbanger, and I was just, I was going up to the liquor store, and he saw me, and he never seen me on the block before, so he basically was like, like, where you from? Hey, hey, cuz, where you from? And I'm like, I ignored him because I'm like, man, like, at that point I was already, around. I was on that block for like maybe about a couple of months. You know what I'm saying? At the time, I went to that liquor store plenty of times. You know what I'm saying? I just never ran into this particular dude. There was other gangbangers on that block that seen me, say what's up. It was no static, no nothing, right? But this particular one, he never seen me before, and he was just like, like, where you from, cuz, or whatever. So I'm like, I just ignored him. Like, man, I ain't got time for this shit. Like, so basically he basically ran up on me, and I've told this story before, so I mean, this ain't really new. So, but yeah, I end up punching him because I'm like, I thought he was gonna run up and do something to me. So my intentional response was like, fuck that. I'm gonna take this dude out before he take me out. You know what I'm saying? So I punched him, and I think it shocked. I could tell the look on his face. It shocked him. He didn't think that I was gonna react that way. And he just kind of stopped, and he just started talking. I was like, I told him, I was basically yelling, like, on the top of my lung, like, like, dude, I told you I don't fucking gangbang. Because I think at one point he kept pressing the issue, and I just told him I don't bang. And then that's when he ran up on me, and I punched him, and I started yelling at him. And yeah, so, but anyway, I told that story because that led to a beef, right, between me and this dude. Because that was the end of that. After that, he just kind of like, because I busted his nose. So he kind of left. And I went on to the store, got my stuff, and you know what I'm saying. Then I went back to my brother. I was staying with my brother at the time. And I told him, like, dude, I just got into it with this, one of the gangbangers that's from this set, that's on this block. I had to tell my brother, because I was like, I knew something was going to come, something was going to come from it. But anyway, it took a minute, but what ended up happening is eventually I seen him again, maybe like a couple of weeks later or something. And he was with his daughter, and I had went to the same store again. And I saw that he was like getting like, he was kind of scared, because he was like, I guess, like, man, that dude, he busted my nose last time. Because I was wearing a pullover. I was wearing like a black pullover. And, I guess he probably thought like, oh man, he's probably strapped this time. Like he's more prepared. Like, he ain't, now he's walking to the store with a fucking pullover on. I know he's probably strapped, but I wasn't, you know what I mean? But anyway, I seen that he was kind of scared to come out with his daughter, so I was like, "Fuck, I gotta talk to this dude." And so I just kind of, waved him like, "Bro, come on, bro." Like, you know what I'm saying? And he kind of came to the gate and he was still kind of talking shit, I guess, from he didn't like because what happened last time. And I was like, bro, like, I was like, we can't be beefing. I just ignored that shit. His daughter was right there. And I had a daughter too. So, I was thinking on a bigger scale and I was just like, bro, we can't be beefing. We've basically from the same, like we live in the same hood, bro. Like, we basically hash things out. That's the short story, right? Like that's the summary version of that. And basically, he found out that I knew all of his homies that was there, and it's just he didn't know because it's just lack of communication, right? His homies ain't tell him like, oh yeah, that's Jay, that's such and such brother, blah 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 from the block. It was lack of communication among men because men we don't really communicate, and so this is the main reason why a lot of bullshit happened to black men because we don't talk, we don't speak up, we don't say, hey, hey, bro, like, come here, come on, pull over to the side. Let me holler at you on some real shit, bro. Like, fuck this street shit, fuck this gang shit, fuck all of this stuff. Let me talk to you on some real stuff, bro. Like, this is what it is. This is where I am, bro. Hey, bro, I'm not trying to gang bang shit. If I was trying to gangbang, I would be hanging out with y'all, but I ain't got nothing against y'all. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm staying in y'all hood, blah, blah, blah. Hey, man, we got to be able to work something out. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if we can't work nothing out, then we can't. But I'm saying we should at least be able to talk to each other instead of just jumping to the gun all the time. And that situation taught me that the power in our mouths, talking, you know what I'm saying? You gotta be able to communicate, you know what I'm saying, things. You can't just assume like, oh, okay, I'm going to get my gun and let your gun, because that's what we're doing. We're letting our guns handle our problems for us as men. And we can't do that. You know what I mean? We're gonna just keep killing each other because that's what they're rapping about. But these rappers are not like that. I'm telling you guys, they're not like that. You know, a lot of the times, y'all can see it. Like if y'all go check out like just other people content and stuff, y'all will see these rappers ain't really like that, man. They're not built like that. They're not hard like that. You know what I'm saying? They're just trying to sell an image. And so y'all got to stop believing that image. And y'all gotta learn to be men. Be men. Become a man first. That's how I was being able to handle all my problems by being a man, not being a gangster, not being trying to prove I'm tough or trying to prove I'm this. I know I'm tough. I already been through all of that shit. I ain't got nothing to prove. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have nothing else to prove anymore. Some of y'all do. Some of y'all in the comments and stuff, y'all want to talk all tough. Like, what are you trying to prove, bro? Like, what are y'all trying to prove? Because being all tough in my comments ain't going to get you nowhere with me. I'm going to ignore you. You know what I'm saying? Because I know chances are in real life, if you ever ran across me, I will make you shit on yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because the stuff I've done in my life, I know a lot of y'all ain't gonna never do. Y'all don't have the balls to do it. A lot of y'all don't even have the balls to put a picture on your fucking profile. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm not about to take you serious. You ain't got a fucking picture on your profile.
And let me get it.